Okay, so I'm starting the recording now. So the session is about to start now. So again, as educators, we do so much as educators in school. We need to ensure that we do justice to our class teachings. We need to be sure that we deal with a lot of data in the school. And there are a lot of data, if you agree with me, that we need to deal with in the school as teachers. Talking about the student attendance, talking about the students scores, talking about all the things that we need to measure in schools, as school owners or as school principals or school leaders. You also want to measure the teachers' performances. You want to measure the student performances. You want to see the school as a whole. Talking about the school KPI as a whole. You want to know why students are leaving the school or why students are trying to come to your school. So all those things will work with a lot of data. And from my own experience, many teachers don't that are not computer science teachers, maybe they do not study any computer science related course. They find it really difficult when you ask them to come and do something using any of these mainstream programming languages. You're asking a language teacher to do something using Python or Node.js or Ruby or Visual Basic and all those big programming languages. But with a Power Platform, you as teachers will be able to create applications like a pro. You'll be able to automate processes like a pro, and you don't even need to understand all those programming languages. So these are the things that we're going to be looking at together this evening. So we'll be looking at a Power Platform. Power Platform. What does that mean? The Power Platform. It's an easy to use, low code, low code configurable solutions that can be used on different 365 platforms to analyze data. You want to build apps for use in your class. You want to build app for use in your school. You want to even build app to be used by the people in your district or people in your state or people in your community, talking about students around you. So you want to automate processes. You also want to create virtual agents that even when you're not around, you still want somebody to be able to respond to your student questions. You still want somebody to be able to answer questions from your student. Or there are several things that you do every day or on a weekly basis. And you don't want to repeat that again and again as teachers. You just want to set up a process that anytime something happens, then this set of actions should follow. So we want to automate process. The Power Platform is there to help us as educators to be able to do more without actually learning how to write the codes, without actually learning all those big programming languages. Power Platform. Power Platform has four basic key products. So the Power Platform is like the umbrella name, but under this Power Platform, you now have four basic key products. And these key products are the Power Apps. We're still going to break this down and look at each of these products one after the other. So the four products are the Power Apps, which is a way of building custom applications. I think I've stressed that enough that you want to build applications for your school, for your class. So we use Power Apps to do that without actually writing codes. So you want to learn how to do that without writing codes.
सिस्टम पूरा हैंग हो रखा है.
Oh, sorry, I'll have to disable mic for everybody so that it won't be distracting us. Okay, so the second key product is the Power BI. Power Business Intelligence. So this is a tool that we can use for data analysis and visualization. I know some of us will be like, I'm used to Microsoft Excel. Yes, Microsoft Excel is that powerful. But I tell you, when you start your journey with Power BI, you see that you'll be able to do more of visualization with your Power BI. So Power BI also is a key product, a component of the Power Platform. The third one is the Power Automate. I'm just laying this out now. We are still going to uh, look at each of these components one after the other. The third one is the Power Automate. From the name, automate. You want to set a series of process in motion that you don't want to go over the process every time, like every week or every day in the class as teachers. Several things that we do, we just want to set it in motion that if this should happen, I want this process to kick into effect. So with your Power Automate, you want to build automated processes and what we call workflows. Maybe for some of us, if you're not seeing Power Automate on your 365 at the moment, maybe it's still showing Flow. The previous name is Flow. So a Flow has now been changed to the Power Automate. So we are still talking about the same thing. Now the fourth key product is the Power Virtual Agents. It's a virtual agent. This is a solution. This is a solution for creating customizable artificial intelligence chatbots. I know we know about chatbots. You jump on a particular website. By just even jumping on the website, you receive like a pop-up saying, welcome, how can I help you, and all that. So we as teachers too, we can actually build something like this, something similar to that, a chatbot without actually writing the codes. I keep stressing that because that is the beauty of Power Platform. You're not writing codes, you're not writing all those big codes, and at the same time, you'll be able to work like a pro. You'll be able to do something like a power user. So with your virtual agent, you want to create chatbots for the teachers, for the students, and for everybody around the school community, really. So you want somebody to be able to respond. In fact, for counselors, they can create a chatbot that can still respond to students' questions. Okay, so just laying the 4 key products. So I will start picking on each of these products one after the other, and at the end of the day, I will do a short demo on how to use some of these key products. Okay, so starting again with our Power Apps, I want to delve into how we can actually use Power Apps in the class as educators or as school owners. Teachers these days are expected to perform an astonishing array of tasks every day. Teachers are supposed to make sure every student gets a personalized, tailored education, while also moving through a curriculum at a pre-specified rate. We ask teachers to make sure students are proficient in all areas of life, while also managing everything from their seating arrangement to basic medical care and some other things. So these are a whole lot of work for educators, really. So we have Power Apps there that can help us build custom apps for business needs. These are applications that we can create to do certain things. Maybe for you as teachers, you want to quickly create an application that will allow you to quickly create or generate sitting charts for your students in the class. We can create applications like that. Maybe you teach mathematics or you teach biology or you teach physics, and you find out that there is a particular concept that students are struggling with, that students are not really flowing with. You can easily create a small application that can guide them in that regard. So with Power Apps, these are internal applications that you use within your own classroom. So imagine you yourself as a teacher in your school, and you now have like an application to yourself. You have an application to yourself that you can use in the class to do certain things, or even in your university as a professor in your university or college, you want to create applications for people to use. So we can use Power Apps to do that. It has a lot of features, and we are talking about just drag and drop. You know, I keep stressing that you're not writing the codes, you're dragging and you're dropping. A certain command or function and then drop it, and at the end of the day you have a customizable app developed by your very self for use in your own classroom. So Power App can do that. You want to create application for use. It's that cool. Still also on Power Apps, one of the biggest problems facing modern teachers is how to connect with students, especially who learn differently. We know our students learn differently. That is why we talk about differentiation in the class. So one of the biggest problems facing us as teachers is how to connect with everybody, regardless of how they learn in the class as teachers. In a classroom of, let's say, about 25 students, uh, there is not a lot of time for personalized instruction. But how do you reach out to the children who may have learning disabilities or simply a different way of engaging with materials? So many teachers struggle with all this. They struggle to see where their students are excelling and where they are struggling. And grades aren't always the best or perfect measuring tool, if you agree with me. So a student who has good grade may still struggle with something like solving advanced logic problems. Likewise, a student with poor grades may simply be fighting test anxiety or disorganization. So how can we help in this regard? As educators, how can we help? We can leverage on the Power Apps, because with Power Apps, you can easily connect with students who learn differently. And what do I mean by helping us to connect with students who learn differently? You can create a variety of applications that tackle different learning processes, just like I mentioned. Maybe you've got students in your class that are struggling with dyslexia or struggling with anxiety or struggling with speech issue and all that. You can easily customize an application for such a student or such students in such category so that it can actually help them. So you as the teacher, you are the one developing this application now. It's quite different from you going to Google and Google Play Store or Apple Store to download an application designed by somebody. It may not fit perfectly into your own classroom situation, but with Power Apps, you can easily customize it to suit what you really need as the teacher and what are the needs of your student. So like I said, you have a lot of instructions, lot of pre-designed codes that you can just drag and drop. So with Power Apps too, you can use smart tracking for student proficiency. I love what we just saw in terms of reading coach and reading progress and some other updates that are really coming up on reading progress. I'm looking forward to seeing all those updates. But with your Power Apps too, you can easily create an application to track student proficiency. So maybe you want to create an application smart tracking system to keep up with student proficiency. You want to flag up various questions across different exercises, and you want to keep track. You as a physics teacher or as a chemistry teacher, you want to start from known to unknown. You want to create an application and be pushing out questions and exercises to the student. And as they are attempting the exercises, is keeping their grades. And after several weeks or at the end of the term, you want to actually check their progress. So you can actually create something like that too, using the Power Apps. Not just that, you can also automate your routine classroom tasks. Maybe you want to create an application, like I said, you want to create a sitting chart in your class. You can easily create an application that every time you want to pair student up or you want to put them in groups, you just leverage on that application that you've created once that can just shuffle the names of students in your class and then put them in groups. So you don't have to just grab a paper, write their names on a paper, or ask them to come out and just pick a paper, or you just want to use any of the conventional methods that we used to. So you can actually create an app to help you do that. And lastly, with the Power Apps, you can create application to keep students engaged. That is really, really cool because for us, you want to spend time engaging with your students and making sure they get the kind of personalized help they need. But with 40, 50, 1 hour to attend to about 40, 25, 30 students, we may not have that time to really do that in detail. But when we create personalized application for these students, so that they can go on the app and they can do a whole lot of things on their own over and over again. Like I said, there are tons of classroom applications already available. So, but the truth is that even though there are so many classroom programs available as an app, none of them fill all your needs. And when students have to switch from one program to another or back to your pencil and paper, they break out of that engaged pattern of learning. But you don't want that. So what you actually want to do is you want to create your own application to address the specific needs of students in your class. And your best bet is the Power App, one of the Power Platform products. The second one is the Power Automates. We've just dealt with the Power Apps. The second one is the Power Automate. I hope if I'm moving too fast, please just I don't know, maybe just do like a sign to just tell me to slow down because I've got a tendency of speaking very fast. Well, I love the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I enjoyed that. Thanks for that. Okay, so the second one is the Power Automate. Power Automate. From the second aspect of the name, automate, we want to create a set, a process, a motion that will help us do a whole lot of things. I will do a demo on Power Automate, and I bet you love it. I love Power Automate. Maybe you don't want to waste important productive hours on drafting the same email for a weekly update or approval. Not only for individual users, you can as well use it for enterprise grade process automation. So with your Power Automate simple interface, it allows an entry level user to automate work, to automate tasks from you connecting your Twitter account to your Microsoft Teams, or connecting your Teams to Microsoft Forms, or even saying anytime you upload a video on your YouTube channel, on YouTube, which is a separate app on its own, there should be a tweet about it on Twitter, or there should be a post about it on your class Microsoft Teams. You can do things like that with your Power Automate. Or you want to say when a student responds to the form, you want a certain action to take place. Maybe you want something to be posted on the class teams, or you want something to be tweeted about it, or you want something on Power BI alert. You can actually use Power Automate to do all this. So it lets you create automated workflows between applications and services. This is not just a Microsoft solutions. Like I said, you can automate flow from Teams to Forms to Google, YouTube to Twitter, and to some other applications too. So if there are certain things that you do every time as teachers, every week we write maybe lesson notes, or you write your lesson notes or your lesson plan, and you need your HOD to approve it every week. So you want a situation whereby anytime you upload a file in your OneDrive, a mail should be sent to your supervisor immediately, notifying your supervisors that you've submitted your lesson plan for approval. And your supervisor will check the mail, respond to the mail. Maybe you want to add that anytime your supervisor does something on your document, you should get a kind of a notification. That is automation that we're talking about. And you can do things like this using your Power Automate. It is that powerful. I love using Power Automate because it helps automate repetitive educational processes. You're talking about communication, you communicate with people a lot of time, and you don't want to type the same set of mail every time. You don't want to send the same set of message every time. You want to automate it. Every Monday, send this mail to this person. Once you receive a response from the person, create this meeting link, or post this thing on YouTube, or tweet about this thing on Twitter. You can automate that process to do things like that. Really, that is Power Automate. And how can you, as teachers, use Power Automate? I will just cite few examples. It's not exhaustive. It's not. I'm not talking about everything yet. So you can connect with students who learn differently too. You can create all things like this and set the ball in motion and say, okay, once a student does this, this should happen almost immediately. So like I said, I will do a demo at the end of the presentation on how to use Power Automate, and at the same time, how to use the Power Virtual Agent too. I will do that too at the end of my presentation. So the third product is the Power BI, the Power Business Intelligence. I'll say this is like what I'm focusing more on at this period in time as a data analyst. I love to play with data, to create insights, to create reports, to create dashboard and all that. So you can do all this using your Power BI, Business Intelligence. So it helps you deliver insights for analyzing data. We know that data is the new oil today, and in school, we deal with a lot of data. So how well do you interpret this data? How well do you work with this data to help you make informed decisions? So how well do you play with this data? Power BI can help you do a lot of data visualization where you can create like a report or a dashboard for Microsoft Power BI. Okay, I'll take that again. I noticed I got frozen for a few seconds. So Power BI, I said you can use it to create reports or dashboards to enable fast and informed decisions. So a school can have a dashboard that everybody can look at and you will know where the school is. Or a teacher can create a dashboard for insight. So dashboard could be created using your Power BI. So Power BI in schools. Like I said, I do a lot of work with Power BI for business owners, for people from all walks of life. But we are focusing basically on education here now. So how can we use Power BI in schools? We can create what we call educational dashboards and reports. Educational dashboards and reports. I wrote it that Power BI can help schools and academic institutions by giving them greater visibility and accessibility in their data in a simple and effective manner. That is the catch. In a simple and effective manner. We don't want to just open an Excel sheet and with a lot of data or the students' scores, just roll everything out in form of in rows and columns. But we want to bring it out in a simple and effective manner. This can help you generate valuable insights using an easy to use application. That is the catch for the Power Platform. Easy to use. You don't need to be a pro for you to be able to use all those things that we're talking about. You don't need to be a pro. So you can track measures, you can track metrics, long-term success for your teachers, for your students. You can do a whole lot of this using your Power BI by creating reports. One thing about Power BI is once we even add in all your data from different sources, it will help you even work on what we call the relationships. So that if you want to work out, is students' attendance in school affecting the student performance? Power BI can help you work around the relationship, and then you'll be able to see and check it out. If the student's attendance is really affecting the student's performance, or the number of hours spent in class, if that is affecting the student. So a whole lot of things you can do with Power BI. I will just break it into four. So 4 basic areas in school now. Number 1, the school insights as a whole. The school as a whole. You want to create insights for the school as a whole. Maybe you want to have like a general overview of the school. You're talking about the key performance index of the school, such as the students to faculty ratio, the environment, by school, the enrollment rather, by school, by gender, by location. So you can actually create a report to check if there is a connection between your students to teacher ratio, or the enrollment in school, or the gender and the performance of your student. So Power BI can help you check these relationships, and you'll be able to see in using visuals, using fantastic different lots of visuals in your Power BI. You can do that in your Power BI. Another insight you can use is that of the students' insights. School as a whole, I've talked about that. Student insights. You as teacher can create a report, can create a dashboard to help you check whether the student performance is dependent on the teacher teaching that student, or you want to check the student's performance versus the attendance in class, or the student performance versus each of the subjects. So you have a lot of insight that you can do using your Power BI. So the time we have now in the world is the data rule the world now. We don't just need to play with data. Data can actually help us and keep us focused, to give us an insight into what is going on in our schools and how we can move things around to actually see the effects. Aside that of student, there can also be teacher insights. Maybe you as teacher, you want to check your performance vis-a-vis the subjects that you teach, or you want to check your performance versus the number of hours you spend teaching the subject. So teachers also can have like a dashboard. The school supervisor, the school principal, the school owner can create dashboard to check the performances of the teachers. And you can actually check if the male teachers are actually outperforming the female teachers, or if the teachers teaching a particular grade are outperforming the teachers teaching another grade. So your Power BI is a very good tool to create interactive dashboard. And these are interactive dashboard that you can even set up to use what we call direct data. When you use your direct data, it means you don't need to go back to create your dashboard every time. Once you use direct importation of data into your Power BI, it will automatically update your dashboard. So you don't need to do that again as a teacher. I do cite this example whenever I'm explaining Power BI. If you get to an airport, for example, you will see a big dashboard. And on that dashboard, you see the list of flights, you see the destination, you see the arrival time, and you see a whole lot of things. And this keeps changing. I tell you, it's a dashboard created by somebody. And you don't have to sit behind the computer every time and switch things around and change the names of the airplanes or the arrival time and dates and some other thing. No, because you've collected a lot of data, you've fed the data into your analytics tool, and it's now showing up real-time dashboard. So teachers can do similar things. That on checking your dashboard, you will see where you are at every point in time. And lastly, on Power BI, the enrollment and tuition in school too. You can create a dashboard to show that. You want to see your retention rates by grade, by performance. You want to know, why are students leaving our schools? Why is it that our students are not staying in the school? Why is it that many students are coming to your school? Maybe that's your own, that's your whole big plus. You want to know, what are we doing differently in our schools? You can really check that by grade, by performance, by gender. So we can work on analytics using Power BI. Power BI is one tool that I will encourage us also to take a peep into on our own after this session. And the last in the pack of these four apps that make up the Power Platform is the Power Visual Agents. With your Power Visual Agent, you can create what we call chatbots. you're not there, but your student is typing something on Teams and something is responding as if you are there as the teacher. So you can create a chatbot that will serve like your teacher's customer service app or something. So you're not there, but the student is typing, hello, sir, I need this, and something is responding, even while you were sleeping. So we can create chatbots using Power VA, what I call the Power Virtual Agent. So you are not using code. You don't need to be a big time developer to create a chatbot. I will also show us too, if time permits, how to create chatbots. Really, the 40 minutes, it's a very short time to really talk about all this. I just hope I'm doing justice to that and you're really learning a lot. Okay, so with your Power Virtual Agent, you can create your chatbots in your teams as teachers, for example. Anytime a student say hello, you have something that responds that say hello, call the name, how may I help you? So you can build your chatbot and it depends on how detailed you are. In fact, counselors in school can actually leverage Power Virtual Agent to still attend to students to an extent, even when they are busy attending to other students. So I will encourage counselors, I will encourage us as educators to see how to leverage Power Virtual Agents to still save ourselves a lot of stress, a lot of time that we need to spend attending to a lot of students, when we can set up something in motion that can still attend to a kind of questions. If you use many of these big companies today, before you even get to speak with a real person, you wouldn't even know that you've been having conversation with AI all along. You are typing questions, somebody's responding, you are typing a lot of things, somebody's responding. I tell you, you yourself can do that too as a teacher using your Power VA. You can create your robust chat box that will still respond to students' queries, students' questions in class using your Power Virtual Agent. So I will move over now. I've talked about this. So I'll move over now to demonstrate. My time is almost up. I will demonstrate how to use Power Automate and the virtual agent in Microsoft Teams. So I'll quickly do that now. So I'll stop sharing this presentation. Then I will share my Teams. Then I'll be able to just show us how to use this Power Automate and virtual agents in Microsoft Teams. Give me like a minute to switch from this presentation to the Microsoft Teams, so that we'll be able to see how to do that. Okay, this is the Microsoft Teams now. Okay, so I'll be using the same channel for this particular session, which is the leverage the Power Platform. Okay, I'll start with the Power Automate. Maybe on your teams, you are not even seeing the Power Automate, you are not seeing the virtual machine and all that. Maybe you are not seeing that. You can just click on these three dots. You can click on these three dots and search for the Power Automate here. Although I've added mine, but I'm just showing you like a demo. So you click on the Power Automate here. Once you click on it, you'll be able to add it to your teams. You'll be able to add it to your teams. Fortunately for me, I've added it to my teams, but I'll still kind of go over this process so that we'll be able to see how to use this. I have a lot of people here that I just want to admit them in, then I'll move over here. Okay, so this is my Power Automate here that I've added. So let's just give it like a minute. So you add it to your Microsoft Teams and we'll see a lot of things that we can do with Power Automate. So I have my Power Automate here now. If I scroll down, it will show me like a template. Remember, I've been saying low code, and you need to you get to do something and work like a pro. So this is what I'm talking about. Here you have what we call templates for our Power Automate. This one is saying follow up on the message. This one is saying send a message to OneNote. So you want to automate something and say when something happens, send a message to OneNote. Schedule a reply. When somebody sends something, a kind of a reply should come up. And we still have lots of templates here. Let me click on this, see all templates, so that I'll be able to see all the default templates. You can either go with the default template, or you might want to just say, you know what, I want to create my own process from scratch myself. So this is showing me all the templates here. Look at the different template that I have here. And towards my left screen here, I have my topics. I have approver. So in case I want to, I am working on approver, I can click on approver. I have AI automation here. I have button here. I have calendar. I have email. I have productivity. Category myself. So it's loading up now. Calendar. And if you hover at the top here while this is loading, it's only showing me the Power Automate templates that I can use in Teams. That means that we can also use our Power Automate outside Microsoft Teams. We can about. So let me say alert me when I am mentioned the Microsoft Teams, schedule a reply, welcome new members. Let me say I can easily start a meeting. Let me look for that so I can easily start a meeting with create a process to do that. A lot of process here. This is what I've been talking about. Send approval or rejection email for SharePoint list. You can automate something like that and say, anytime something happens, just do what? Send the mail on my behalf. Okay. Let me even say, I don't want to use all these templates. If I click on create from blank, somebody saying, can't hear me. I need a thumbs up if you can still hear me. Please, I need a thumbs up if you can still hear me. Hello, I need a thumbs up. You can still hear me. Hello? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you do a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I'll just continue. Thank you. Okay, so I want to create like a process here now. If I come here now and say I want to use any of the built-in, or I want to create a standard process, I can just come here and say I want to create like a meeting, for example. Sorry, it's raining seriously here. I guess that is affecting the signal. So this is taking time to load. Oh, okay. Okay. So let's say I just want to create one, just pick any here, maybe one of my top picks. I just pick any here. The network it's really it's raining here. I guess that is why the network is kind of breaking up. Okay, let me just choose schedule a reply. If I just pick schedule a reply, for example, if I say schedule a reply, maybe I'm saying I want to create a flow called schedule a reply. And this flow uses the following app, for example, Microsoft Teams. So if I create a flow now, if I click on create a flow, for example, so it's trying to help me put that together. So workflow added successfully. Select more options, in the right corner and put any message that I want. So what that means is that I can easily I've created a flow. I will show you where that is working. Or I can as well just make use of a flow that I created earlier, which is to schedule a message here. So if I go back to my charts here, let me go back to our chat. Okay, so if I come here and say new conversation, for example, if I say new conversation, for example, because I've created like a Power Automate now, if I come to my charts in Teams now and I do more options, I'll be able to see all the flows that I've created. This is one of the flows that I created, this schedule a meeting. So if I just click on schedule a meeting now, it will just open up a kind of a flow. So I will just need to put the meeting subject here. I'll put the meeting subject here, put the detail here, put the date there. Instead of doing this in my calendar, I can just create something like this and I'm done creating, scheduling a meeting because I already created like a process somewhere in my, using my Power Automate. So I don't have to go outside my charts here or move over to the calendar and create a meeting and I'll still need to go back and forth. So we can create processes using our Power Automate. I can say anytime I post something on my Teams, issue automatically be tweeted on my Twitter page. So that means I will have connected my Twitter to my Teams. So we can add automate. We can also add the third one, the fourth one rather, the Power Virtual Agent. We can also add the Power Virtual Agent, which is the one that we can use to create like a chat box. We can use it to create a chat box so that we can ease ourselves of stress. There is something that can always respond even when we are not there. Look at it here. It's saying empower employees, create a chatbot, 5 minutes, no code. So if I just say start now, it will ask me the kind of chat box that I want to create. So I will not even use any code. It is just for me to click, type, move to the next thing because we already have a series of instructions or series of processes and codes that have been created here. So if I'm saying the chat box I want to create now, I want to use it for this particular theme because that is probably the only theme on this tenant. So for in your own case, maybe you have so many themes on your tenants, you choose the particular tenant that you want to put it on. Okay, so I've created a chat box now. So it's now time for me to fill it up and add a lot of things there. So the name of my bot, maybe I want to say my math geek, for example. If I put that there, I can change the language and say maybe it's in English. Then I'll click on create. So I'm actually trying to create a bot that can respond in the Teams when students write something, the bot will be there monitoring the post and responding based on the list of things that will have fed my bot. That anytime you receive a post and you have these keywords in such post, respond with this set of actions. So you get what I'm saying? Maybe a student is asking, is saying hello. The chatbot will be there to say, hi, Michael. So you can actually create something like that. So let's start exploring the. So I've created the math kit. This is it. So now I will now need to choose the topic for my chat bot for my math kit that I just created. So I just created my math kit here now. So I want to create a topic for it. So I can click on topic. I will see all existing topics here that I can choose. Look at it, for example, a simple topic, greeting, escalate, end of discussion, goodbye. So you have lots of these topics. Again, you can actually create your own too. So if I just put greetings, for example, if I click on greetings, for example, look at this flow here. Look at what I have here. So I'm saying these are the phrases, these are the trigger phrases. Anytime somebody types good afternoon, good morning, hello, hello agent, hello and good morning, hello, can you help me? I can edit all these things really. So anytime anybody types all this, I am typing that I am a virtual agent. I can help with so questions and so on. So if I want to edit this now, I say I am Matt Kid. Share with me your question. So I can customize that. And anytime somebody just posts something, my Matt Kid will be there to respond. I want to go back to the Matt Kid. My time is up, but I'll just do this in a minute. I will go back to the last part of the presentation. Let me quickly meet a lot of people waiting at the sorry about that. We're supposed to be for handling this, but I'm the only one here now. So somebody else will have been helping in admitting people. So sorry for keeping you waiting at the lobby. Okay, so I was trying to show us the greeting topics here. So I can easily come here, edit what I have in here as my response. Anytime somebody types any of these trigger phrases, and I can edit the trigger phrases. I can also edit the messages, and I can add several trigger messages and responses. So all I need to do is just continue to click on this node, click on the node, choose whether it's a question from anybody that is posting, and then add a condition, put your call and action, and show a message. So we just need to click on all these, and at the end of the day, you will have built a bot that will be there to respond to your students' queries and questions. So for us as educators, we don't need to continue to do the heavy lifting ourselves. You don't need to always be there if 247 to respond to the students' queries, to respond to some of their questions where we can actually leverage Power Platform to help us achieve this. We can look at the Power Apps, we can look at the Power Automate, we can look at the Microsoft Power BI, we can as well look at the Power Virtual Agent to do all these things that we've mentioned. So my time is up now, but I won't go without sharing with us this set of resources that we can use as educators. These are links that you can grab. These are links. I'll put all this in the chat box. I'll put all this in the chats so that we can easily copy it and then get to check them out on our own and learn one or two things. So let me copy this and drop it in the chats. I'll check the chats. I'll drop it in the chat so that we can just click on it. Okay, so I've dropped that in the chat. I've dropped the links in the chat. So you can check the charts for the links, and you can do a bit of learning on your own as educators. So these are powerful applications that we can take a look at. And from the name, it's Power Platform. We want to move from the regular class teachers and educators to power users of some of these tools in our classes. And that is what Power Platform can do. Can make you look like a pro, act like a pro, without actually making use of all those powerful applications. So these are the next set of sessions for tomorrow and all that. I'll be expecting questions in the chat box, or if you have any questions, maybe I'll be able to take 2 or 3 questions. You can raise up your hands, then I can allow everybody talk now. Maybe I should even do that now. So I'll turn on the microphone now so that all of us can actually use our microphone. But before we can start talking, let us just indicate by raising up our hands. If you have 1 or 2 questions or contributions, I would love that from you. Thank you for your time. I think we've spent quality 55 minutes. Supposed to spend 40 minutes. So we spent 55 minutes. So I'll take questions, maybe 1 or 2 questions. We have 5 more minutes to go. So I'm seeing a hands up. Seeing 1 hand up. Please, you can unmute yourself and speak. So you know yourself. Just unmute your microphone. I don't want to like call the wrong pronunciation. So just unmute your microphone. Hi.
Hi, I'm sorry. This is Valeria. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I can't see the chat, so I wouldn't be able to click on your links. I think it's not available.
Okay, I'll do that now. I'll try and make it available for you now. Thank you for that. Okay, let me make the chat available.
Me too.
Okay, don't worry. Once I do that, everybody will be able to see the chat. Allow chats enabled. Okay, so I'm enabling it now. Should see the chat now. Let me repost. I will repost now. So can you see the chat now? I've enabled the chat.
Not yet.
Okay, just wait for it. So I have another hands up. I just said you can unmute yourself and ask a question. So we have 4 more minutes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You can ask a question.
Already it has been asked, but up to now we cannot see the chat box.
And I've enabled it. Let me refresh again. I've enabled the chats. Just give me a minute.
Okay, I'm still expecting.
Okay, so I'll kind of refreshing it, although I've enabled it. Okay, the chat is enabled. The chat is enabled.
We aren't seeing it yet.
Let me see what I can do then. Is anybody else seeing the chat? Maybe it's just a few.
We are still not seeing the chat.
Sorry, just wondering if it can be put on the group WhatsApp. Maybe that can help.
Oh, no, we've got people from different places here, from all over the world here. So I would, you know what I'll try and do? I'll download the attendance. Hopefully I'll grab all our email addresses and not just the chats, the links now. I'll try and send the presentation as a whole. to all our chats. So I'll download the attendance. Hopefully many of us signed in using our email addresses so that I can grab our email addresses there and then forward the presentation to you, if that is okay.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
That would be okay.
Okay, so I've downloaded the attendance already, so I'll be able to work with that and share that with you. So thank you once again for your time. It's 4:58. If we can take just one more question rather, or contribution. So we still have a minute that we can spare.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You can go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to ask if the use of Power BI is restricted to, excuse me, only primary and secondary schools. So I'm an early years educator. So I don't know at what point I can make use of Power BI.
Okay, thank you for the question. It is not restricted to just secondary or higher institution. Anybody can use, you can use Power BI for different categories of students. Take for example, you have your students, and you want to create a dashboard, you want to create a report, for example, you can create reports based on your student performances or their feelings or anything around the class. You can create your dashboard for that. You know, with your Power BI, you are the one that is actually using the tool, not the students this time around. Although we can as well train our students, if you're teaching ICT or data processing or any of the subjects, you can teach them how to use Power BI. But we're talking about you leveraging Power BI to have an insight into what is going on in your class, to have an insight into what goes on around the school. So that is Power BI. So it's 5. The time is up now. So like I promised, immediately I end this call now, I would send the mails to I will send the presentation to our emails. So lastly, on the screen, you have the achievement code. If you love to claim this on your Microsoft Educator Center, you can grab the achievement code and use that to redeem that on your Microsoft Educator Center. And we still have a lot of sessions coming up tomorrow also. So you can check out the E2 guide and see the various sessions and the local time that these sessions will take place. I'm super excited seeing all of you in this session and hope to see you probably in person really, really soon. Hopefully next year version will be virtual. So thank you from my hand. I'm Ola Lekon from Nigeria. See you next time. Bye-bye.
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 Bye.